Hello and welcome everyone to Bow Live and Florida Closing in Escrow for our weekly simulcast live broadcast. We're here with Anthony Bauza and John Iowanu, expert real estate attorneys, bringing you the updates about COVID, real estate, and marketing tools to assist with your success. And just to let you know, we're available 23/7, as we say. We let the attorneys sleep an hour, and we're available as needed after hours, weekends, and so forth to assist you from contract to closing. We have most languages, and we're mobile, digital, remote, and we also have closings in our office as well as curbside. And if you're out of state or out of country, we can do via online notarizations. So we hope to assist you to close more deals and with marketing tools to help also with your success that we'll be updating you about today. But let's start with some of the brief COVID updates. I know that an executive order was signed by Ron DeSantis to end the restrictions statewide, if you want to elaborate on that, and as well as the update on the moratorium on evictions.
Yeah, so DeSantis suspended the local COVID emergency orders on Monday, and he signed a proposal that lawmakers had approved last week that essentially limits the government's ability to impose mask requirements and other social distancing measures. The new law will go into effect on July 1st, but the governor has said that he's going to issue some executive orders in the meantime to quickly enact some of the provisions of the new law ahead of this date. Although the executive order does strike down local virus restrictions, it still won't apply to mask mandates or social distance policies that are issued by individual businesses. As far as the eviction moratorium, there's a national eviction moratorium that was extended through June 30th. It also matches the federal foreclosure and eviction moratorium for borrowers with federal loans. The latest update on that is that although the June 30th is currently the deadline, they are trying to work on some potential new programs, including a foreclosure review plan for those that are facing review, so that foreclosures may not necessarily be able to take place up until 2022 even, but that's still ongoing and nothing has been finalized yet. And lastly, the IRS is continuing their Plus Up payment program. So as soon as you file your 2020 returns, as they come in, they'll review it for eligibility. And if you are found eligible for a stimulus based on the taxes, they'll go ahead and send you out a check.
Okay, thank you for the updates. Also, I know from Miami Beach on Wednesday, they just signed that there would not be any room occupancy limits, no ban on retail alcohol sales, and on mask wearing, etc. All right, now we go to some good real estate news. I know a private estate in Palm Beach is to sell for nearly $90 million. South Florida developer Todd Michael Glass plans to renovate and expand the primary home on Tarpon Island that is accessible only by boat, bridge, or seaplane. Also, Tommy Hilfiger is selling his Golden Beach mansion for $28 million to Grant Cardone, real estate investor and author. A two-story sky villa in Turnberry Ocean Club has sold for $10.75 million to Howard Cross, CEO of IP Analytics and IDP Capital, and that translates to $1,600 per square foot. And also Lori Stark, a co-owner, designer of the brand Chrome Hearts, also purchased in Turnberry. And in the past 12 months, Construction has been accelerating in Texas, Florida, and Kentucky. And also I left out the purchase was 6.5 million in Turnberry. John, if you want to elaborate on some further good real estate news. I can't hear.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, the housing market is still on fire. Those are incredible numbers that you were just saying there. Housing starts surged in March by 19% to an annual rate of 1.7 million units. That's the highest level since 2006 and well above expectations. Along with the housing starts, building permits are also a strong indicator of the housing market. And in March, single-family building permits rose 42%. So great numbers all around, great news for Florida and South Florida in particular, and great news for our community.
Okay. Very good. And I know the market is still on fire locally. And anytime again we can assist you, we are able to help you from, the beginning of the contract with contract draft, review, addendums, and so forth as needed as well. Okay, the next question is directed to Anthony. If you could have a cheat sheet on what's hot and what's in real estate, if you want to be the agent that everyone goes to and works with, as well as some things to avoid, what would they be?
Right, so there's some tips and trends as well as a handful of practices to steer clear of. These are tweaks that you can make to your business in order to stay sharp and be that agent that everyone wants to work with. So definitely something that's in is building your migration referral black book. Migration referrals are the way up. People are moving to new states. So if you're short on referral sources, be sure that your agent referral network is strong and specifically in the area where people are moving to. Another thing that's in is spending more quality screen time with clients and prospects. Over communication and empathy is always good. Everyone's tired, everyone's exhausted. Nerves also become a thing during a transaction. Over communicating is usually the best advice. Your timing and your negotiating tactics in your client's best interest is hard when things are moving so fast. So spending some extra time with them and nurturing those relationships is definitely the way to go. Another thing that's definitely in is not to lose your integrity in a transaction. This one's not new, but it is something that's happening, especially when things get hot and emotions are high and buyers seem to become desperate at times. So it's always best to look out and protect the buyers, help them to make good decisions, make them realize decisions are not just for that moment. It is for the long term, for the best thing to happen for that specific deal. Lots of coaching helps to try to educate and calm people down. As far as things that you could avoid and trends you can steer clear of, asking another agent for feedback when an offer is lost out, MLS and showing services or email campaigns, sending out feedback and questionnaires to agents usually was beneficial, but that's no longer needed due to how insane this market is right now. Another one is love letters to sellers. I know some agents used to encourage these. There's lots of discrimination and fair housing issues that may come up, so it's best to just steer clear of them and keep the playing field level for everyone. And lastly, do not lose confidence in the market. It's easy to get overwhelmed and lose confidence, but by sticking to the repetitive things that you know, you'll always default to your competence and what you know. So maintain that confidence. You know your forms, your contracts, the agents, the market. And those are the tried and true basics to stick to and not lose that confidence.
Okay, thank you. And also, we recommend incorporating any new technology possible for navigating the homes, especially with long distance buyers, and stay up on technologies such as the digital dashboard, which is going to be launched shortly. And that will help target people wherever they are and incorporates social media and incorporates targeted digital marketing, incorporates connected TV, and gets more qualified leads for you by amplifying your ads to multiple channels. So that's going to be launching in May. So I'm waiting for that, and we'll be providing more details. Okay, the next question goes to John. If you want to buy a home, and if you can tell us 10 tips for navigating during a difficult market.
Yeah, sure. Number one is to tell your buyers to be patient. In today's market, buyers are going to find out soon that they're at a disadvantage, and this is definitely seller's market, and that the buyers are going to be competing against many other buyers. So advise them not to expect to land their first house, and tell them not to get discouraged if their offer is not accepted. More will come along, and the more houses they see, the better prepared they'll be to evaluate the next one. Number two is get pre-qualified for a loan. This is an important step. Sellers considering multiple offers are going to look at the buyer who does have a pre-qualification letter as opposed to someone who does not bring it. So that's something to consider. Number three is possibly exploring stale listings. People assume that if a house has sat on the market for 10 or 15 days, that there's something terribly wrong with it. It might just be something that your buyer could live with, or something that they could fix. So something also to consider. Number four is be ready to offer over asking price. As we mentioned, this is a crazy market. It's very hot right now. So on average, homes are selling for more than their list price. Buyers are most likely not going to get a deal in this market, so they have to be ready for that as well. Number five is be ready to act fast. Buyers must be ready to jump to a showing or a new listing within hours. It's common now for agents to open homes for tours, sometimes for as little as 15 to 30 minutes, and then ask for all bids after a day or two. And if a buyer is not ready, it's unlikely that they'll get that second chance. Number six is sweeten the pot. Forget about asking the seller to pay for your buyer's closing costs, or for a home warranty, or for the seller to repair a bunch of items. Those days are pretty much gone. Everything now is being purchased as is, and the sellers are not willing to fix anything. So the buyers are the ones that should consider offering perks. Some common ones to consider are offering a flexibility on the closing date if the seller needs more time to find a place of their own. Offer to waive any requests for remedying inspections. Definitely don't waive the inspection period. That's dangerous, but you can waive any request to remedy. And then maybe also offer to pay the seller's closing costs. Next is be willing to compromise. With so few homes available now in the market, it might be a good idea to advise your buyers that the probability of them finding their perfect home is going to be low. So instead of maybe 4 bedrooms that they wanted, maybe they can consider 3 bedrooms. Maybe they can live without a pool, or maybe they don't need to live in a certain area. And finally, and the most important is, if they can, have your buyer offer cash. Cash is king in today's market. In March, 23% of U.S. homes were bought without a loan. That's up from 19% a year ago. So sellers debating obviously between a cash offer and a financing offer are going to take the cash offer every time. So just some things to consider and to advise your clients about.
Okay, thank you so much. The next question goes to Anthony. If you can elaborate on in-deal text messaging and dot loop integration for realtors?
Yeah, so text messaging definitely is a convenient way to keep deals progressing. It has become ubiquitous in the sale and marketing channel for real estate. It's grown tremendously as a formal business communication overall. And actually, a joint study by the National Association of Realtors and Google found that 89% of new home shoppers use a mobile search engine at the onset and throughout their research. Because of this, there's different technologies to try to organize and keep track of text messages that are coming in. High Alpha is a venture company behind the CRM and transaction management solution called Shaker. And Shaker has recently announced a new feature that automatically integrates all deal-related text messages into its respective transactions. So any communications between clients and agents, messages from support staff, and any affiliated party would be made part of the record for that deal. So it offers a workflow to help consolidate this vital transaction data. They have also partnered with dotloop to integrate into dotloop as well. That's also a very popular contract management solution. And they will now be able to automatically integrate text message details into the loops, as the transactions are called, through dotloop. So as the agents collect more information about the deal throughout the transaction, it's automatically added through Shaker and through dotloop. The intent is to eliminate redundancy in information and allows those that are using dotloop or Shaker to integrate this text message. And aside from that, it will also integrate any Gmail, DocuSign, Outlook, or Realtor.com, which are also popular software solutions. So this is just one of many services, but definitely with the way transactions are going and now everything's mobile, there is definitely room there to make text messages and the information you get through text messages be consolidated into one transaction. That will definitely help any deal that you're working on to make sure all the information is stored in one place.
Very good. Thank you. All right. And video marketing definitely captures more attention, as does the live marketing tools with the live broadcasts and opens and tours. So, John, if you could tell us some video marketing strategies that work in 2021.
Sure. Like we all know, video is king when building brand awareness and creating vivid messaging. However, for many real estate agents, the idea of creating video content can be intimidating and confusing. One of the words used a lot by agents regarding a video strategy is that it's overwhelming. There's too many options, there's so many platforms, and many agents just don't know where to start when putting together a video marketing plan. So the problem is they don't start at all. They feel that a video has to be perfect and done by a professional, and that they have to set aside a large chunk of time and money to get the video content accomplished, which basically is just not true. Although professionally done videos are great and can elevate your brand and generate potential leads, the key to remember is that video marketing is also simply just Instagram stories, Instagram Reels, TikToks, Facebook Live, and all of these can be done within a few minutes and on your cell phone. People are responding well to quick and humanized content. And so basically it doesn't have to be perfect. Content is way more important than the level of quality of the video production. So don't think or don't overthink the video marketing campaign. When you overthink it, the problem is it tends not to happen. So the advice today is just to do it. And if you need help with it, Cindy and Bao can help you do that.
Correct. And for those that like to go live, we can assist you with live tours and live opens. For those that prefer not to go live, you could send us videos and pictures of your property, and we could put together the tour of the open from that as in a virtual open. And we do recommend this right now, especially due to precautions and people not being able to travel as much. So we definitely would love to assist you. And again, with the digital dashboard that is launching, we're very excited about that because it does include lead capture, it does include tracking, and in fact, you can track the number of impressions, you can track the engagements, the clicks on it, and the phone calls. So there's going to be campaigns that you would set up and you can direct to your website. You can also take your listing from the MLS and you design an ad from ready-made templates, and then you select your budget and you launch your campaign and you let the AI, artificial intelligence, work for you and capture the leads. So it's definitely a great tool for getting more buyers and sellers. And again, details will follow as soon as it's launched. So you could contact us for any questions for marketing and for the title and closings. We're floridaclosing.com, 1-800-FL-CLOSE, and we're here to assist with your success. So everyone stay safe and successful, and we'll see you next week. Anything you want to add, John or Anthony?
Yeah, see you next week.
Okay, thank you for joining. Bow and Florida Closing and Escrow.